Have you ever made a super nice sketch, but then you were scared of ruining it with rendering? Because I did. Therefore, let me show you everything that you need to know to avoid messing up your sketch and making an actual nice rendered anime face. So the first thing that I always start with is flat colors, but obviously first we need a sketch. So the sketch can be messy, can be super polished, can be even a line art, but whatever works for you. Here we have a couple of them, and flat colors are basically the base colors. So pretty much these are the colors, the actual colors of the thing at a perfect light condition that doesn't affect the color. And the sketches, I usually just start with a super messy guidelines and like shapes, and then I just go on another layer and just try to refine it a little bit. And with that we can obviously then place our flat colors or local colors. So pretty much these are the colors, the actual colors of the thing. So after we have a sketch, I usually just put a new layer below our sketch and I choose a color for the skin or whatever I'm drawing, but in this video we'll talk about mainly the face. So pretty much what I'll be talking about, you can choose whatever skin color you want. Let's just put something like this. So we can put the colors either by just painting them with a pen, or we can use a lasso tool, which will help us select the area and actually fill the color where we actually want this to be. It doesn't have to be like perfect like that, that's enough. Now also, if you want to learn how to draw better faces, you can check out the link in the description below to check out my course that I'm making. And for now it's half off till I just finish it, and then you'll get it. So if you want, you can just save 50% right now. And yeah, also if you want my brushes, they're for free in the description below, and with them you'll get 30 art tips that will help you improve your art in 30 days. Obviously we can be outside, let's say under the hair with our skin color, because then I would probably just go and place like a color for hair, boom, on another layer, and you see that it just paints on top of the skin, boom, and we have a simple skin flat colors. So only this would look pretty boring if we like fill some colors for the face, whatever. It just looks pretty boring. There is not much life to this. And how we can change that? We can add a little bit of color variety. So pretty much for the faces, what I usually do is I divide them into 3 zones. So the upper zone, the middle zone, and the bottom zone. And now the middle zone will often get a little bit more reddish tones, okay, something like that with an airbrush. Let's just now over exaggerate it a little bit, so push it like that, boom. The middle zone will get a little bit redder and more saturated. The upper zone will get more yellower like this, and the bottom zone will get colder and bluish or greenish color, and do this like that. So we obviously see now that there's much more life to the colors. So we can either decrease the layer opacity a little bit, or just leave it as it is for now. And here one thing that we can do is we can actually just erase the bottom color, the colder one, because you see here right now that this color already looks much colder than these here. It's because colors will look differently based on the colors around them. So I usually just go with that. So pretty much the middle one will get more blush and more like reddish tone because there's more blood vessels, okay? So there's a lot of meat and a lot of blood vessels. So pretty much I add a reddish tone where there would be more blush, okay? So like ears, boom, like a little bit of neck even, above the eyes sometimes to just add a little bit of color variety to eyes, across the nose, boom, and a little bit more on the cheeks. Obviously it looks much better with this already than it does without color variety. And now let's add a little bit of yellow tones. So just push it a little bit to the right, more saturated, and move the hue a little bit towards the yellow colors. And again, this is the layer, gently just paint it with an airbrush. So pretty much the forehead area is basically a skin on top of the skull. And now here the bottom part is probably because of the more facial hair. It's seen a lot on more males because, you know, the small hairs actually just make it look a little bit more grayish, more colder and stuff. But yeah, on female characters I just leave it as it is because the middle part will do the work for it. So we already have a little bit more color variety. Then to add even more color variety, now we can place a little bit more colors for other parts. So make a new layer, pick a color for the skin, it can be whatever. Then we want to push it a little bit more towards yellow again and make it lighter, because now we'll do the color for our whites of the eye, boom. And in anime art style, I like to just blend the corners here. So there is like a really smooth transitions here, boom. The rest like that, boom. Now for the other side, boom, okay. And the eyes I'll show you how to render in the next videos. Okay, so we already have and a little bit more nicer look to it. We can now also put a little bit of colors for the lips. Pretty much just take the blush color and just paint it around this a little bit versatile. Now we can go into another step, which is shadows. So let's now just make a new layer on top. And for my shadows, there's two ways to do that. There is probably more, but first one is just pick a color of the skin, pick a darker color, move the hue a little bit, and then paint it, and you have shadow color. But what I do is just pick a multiply layer, take the base skin color, make it less saturated, boom, push it a little bit darker and towards the redder color, and we have a pretty much better color for the shadows. I think with shadows, with placing your shadows or more anime or even stylized character, or even like every character, is to group the shadows into basic shapes. So here we can do like a super simple shadow. So let's put one here, there where we already have some things like that. Boom, maybe a little bit more around the eye, around this here, maybe a little bit here. I think with the shadow is start with super basic shapes and then you can go into smaller details. Okay, now to the back, super simple, and create these shapes here. So that's pretty much the light would be a little bit more from the side of the other eye and pointing like this. Boom, basically this part here is in shadow, and we can actually put this part here more in shadow. Boom, something like this. Okay, erase that, and you see we have a super simple shadows for our characters already. That would be this, erase that, make it a shape like this, boom. And also depends now on the look that you're going for. You can either do a full cell shading, so pretty much you just have a super hard shadows, a super hard shadows like this. It's a cell shading look, boom. Or you can just go for more like a stylized and a different look and just smudge these shadows a bit. Boom. It will give you a more realistic look. But what you can also do is whenever you're drawing anime characters, you can just leave the face in a more cell shading look, and then the rest of the body add some smooth transitions to show the anatomy better. But pretty much the lower you go, the more, form you'll show with the smudge tool. Boom. So pretty much here this. And now other thing that we can do just to make it a little bit more appealing is take the sketch. Okay, let's just take the sketch, set it to alpha lock, and now take colors a little bit darker and more redder. Take airbrush and just go and paint on your line art, your sketch. Just add a little bit more color variety. And with eyes, I like to just tap gently corners of them, boom, like this and that and this. So after the base shadow layer, what I often do is go and add another shadow layer, but this time I go again with multiply, but this time I'll do ambient occlusion. And ambient occlusion is pretty much just shadows that are in areas where the light has a pretty hard time getting in. So pretty much between some things like two balls, let's say, you can see this under the car, under the chair, under anything, like between your skin and shirt or something. It's basically like a darker shadow, and it's less of this. So let's pick again a color, and with ambient occlusion on another layer, you don't really have to now pick this color. You can still pick the skin color and do the same thing, and this time if you paint it on top of this, you'll see that it already darkens it. But here, let's saturate it, something like this. We want to make this a darker color. Now let's see, pretty much there would be ambient occlusion, boom, it's under the hair, maybe even a little bit darker like this. Let's see it, maybe a little bit more saturated and redder, boom, yeah, something like this. Maybe we can even add some shadow to the eyes for now, like this. Here would be now under the chin. Now for the ears would be probably deeper into the ear, boom, behind this, below the hair a little bit like that. Make it a little bit maybe darker and change the hue a little bit more towards red. Maybe decrease the saturation, darker, something like this. Yeah, it adds much more depth to this. Boom, add this here like this, deeper shadows here, boom. Now if you want to just pick a color for shadow just by yourself on a normal layer, just pick the skin color, change the hue towards more redder like this a little bit, boom, push the color a little bit towards more saturated, and then to shadows, something like this. Go again, maybe even more orange, like this, boom. And it's pretty good already. Maybe even more redder, like this, boom. And you have a nice shadow color. But yeah, going to the next part, which is light. Here we can add a little bit more things. So go back here, add a new layer, and we can now just take a lasso tool and we can enhance the light areas. So let's just select all these things that aren't in the shadow. And now we want to make a new correction layer, brightness and contrast. And here we can pump the light a little bit, the brightness, boom, and add a little bit and leave the contrast as it is. And we have now a little bit more light to it. Boom. So more contrast, looks a little bit better. We can obviously now change and smudge it a little bit to make softer transitions like that, boom. But we have much lighter now colors. But other thing that we can do is make a new layer, change it into the art light, pick a light color like this and just paint it, and we can here enhance the light. We can probably just add colors here to just show a little bit more form like this. Now smudge it, boom, the nose a little bit here. Just depends on the look that you're going for. If you want to like more realistic, then go for it. But for anime style, less is more with colors. You don't have to push it. Boom, transition like this here. You can just pump this light color here. Or you can even combine this, like that, and just put it into some parts like this, like forehead, maybe a little bit chin here area, boom, a little bit nose. So next thing we can add is a simple bounce light, and this is a light that bounces throughout the area, throughout your scene, and with each bounce it gets this color that it bounces from. So pretty much if we had like a super red ball here, let's say, boom, that light hits from this side, let's say here, maybe a little bit, then here we would have some bounce light that is red. So let's select this area, take the color of the thing, decrease the saturation, make it a little bit darker, boom, and paint it on top using an airbrush perhaps, boom, maybe even more redder like this, boom. So now we can see that this fits more the scene. We can probably push this ball closer. And one thing with bounce light is that it's much weaker than the main light, which is this. It's much weaker than the main light, which is obviously the light here. So it won't show up here. It will be mostly in shadows. Okay, so and now we can actually add another light source. So it would be ambient light. It's basically light that is in your scene other than the main light. It can be like a sky, so the blue color that bounces everywhere. We can probably make a new layer and just add it into the shadows, boom, like this. A little bit more color variety, maybe even. You can also just select the area that we want to paint this in, and also make sure that it doesn't touch the light, so it's basically between the shadow shapes. This big color for this, a bluish, really light color, boom, boom. And yeah, it adds a little bit more variety to your scene, boom. Now other thing for the light that you can do is pretty much just subsurface scattering. It's a pretty nice effect and it's super simple to do. So subsurface scattering would be something. So let's say this is your skin, boom, below your skin is blood, let's say like that, boom. And subsurface scattering is basically a light that bounces into your skin and then bounces back from your skin, but is obviously weaker with each bounce. But this time it picks a little bit of the red color from your skin, boom, and it shoots back with the light, with the red light. So pretty much if it just on the area like this, it won't be showing up. But if we have a shadow, let's say here, boom, boom, then it will show mostly on the transitions between them. Make a new layer, use overlay, boom, and just pick like an oranges saturated color and just paint it on top of the transitions. So like here, maybe even a little bit more redder like this, boom, like here, here, and it won't be on the light, it will be mostly on the shadow, something like this, boom. Now there will be a lot of this on the ear. We can even just take an airbrush and just brush it on the ear like this, boom. Okay, it's super messy, but it's just a base for this, boom. You can now maybe use an airbrush to just soften the transition here, like this. Boom, boom. This is too harsh here. Boom, like that. Boom. And we have simple effect that actually make it pop. Obviously we can decrease the opacity and make it more subtle, which is also really nice. And yeah. Now, next thing that I always do whenever I draw just any character, I make a new correction layer on top of the other layers, like brightness and contrast, and I play with this. So make it maybe a little bit lighter, but also add a little bit more contrast, or make it a little bit darker, and color balance. So here we can play with some things. We can either go to shadows and make the shadows a little bit colder. So push the cyan color, maybe a little bit more blue, maybe a little bit more magenta. Go to halftones, maybe make them a little bit more magenta, like this, boom. Maybe push reds a little bit, like this, and maybe either blue or more yellower. You can see that it just affects the overall drawing. So just maybe just leave at 0. Now lights push like, well, not like that, a little bit more yellower here, maybe like this, and something like this. Boom. Now if we obviously hide it, we see a huge difference. It just helps you with like making your drawing pop even more. So obviously we can play and change the opacity of this to like how much effect we want to have from this, and there's much more options. So here what I like to do is go to filter, effects, chromatic aberration, put it in here. Now increase this a little bit like that, and you can see, boom, with, without, no, with, without, boom. And what it basically does, we can push it a little bit perhaps here like this. So here you can see what it does. It basically just moves the channels of the colors a little bit, and it creates a cool effect. It gives this a little bit noise effect that I really like. And then what I also do is go filter, effects, and noise. I really like adding noise to things, and it's basically here you see the grain, boom, without, with. It just adds a little bit nicer texture, make it a little bit more polished. I really like it. So I also like to add like a hard light layer. Take the color of the background, but make it a little bit more bluer. Depends obviously on the area around your character, and just paint a little bit from the side that there is light on your character. So something like this, boom, boom, and just makes that it matches the background and your characters better. So yeah, here's a super simple way to color your character. And also if you want to know how to actually draw an anime face, you can check out my Patreon for monthly tutorials. Now to obviously recap everything, we first want to have a basic sketch of our characters. Then we want to go and place our base colors. And then on top, we can place some shadow colors or on multiply layer, but you can use whatever you want. Boom, something like this, maybe a little bit more dark and less saturated. Boom, like this. Obviously, depends if you want to have a full cel shading look or just more harder shadows or more softer shadows. Boom. Okay, then you want to go and add some ambient occlusion and then some light. We can do that by just using a hard light layer, make it like this, boom, make it like this, boom. And yeah, boom, light. Obviously we can add some highlights, depends on how much you want to add, like this, boom. Then maybe a little bit of bounce light, something like this, airbrush, add some ambient light, bounce light like this, boom. And obviously you can also change the color of your sketch, and pretty much that's all. You just need flat colors, then you add shadows, then you add light, and you can also add this subsurface scattering in between shadows and light. And that's basically it. Now, if you want to know how to also draw an anime face, you can check out this video here that will help you with it. Also, if you want to learn how to draw faces, you can check out my course that I'm making in the description below. Bye.